recognize the covenant changed, but the call to holiness did not change. And here's where this message gets really practical for us this morning. Israel had to ask, what am I eating? What am I touching? What am I bringing back into the camp? And today what we have to ask is, what am I consuming with my eyes? What voices am I letting disciple me? What conversations am I entertaining that I should not entertain? What environments am I normalizing that I shouldn't normalize? Because here's the truth. What you repeatedly allow will eventually shape you. What I repeatedly allow in my life eventually shapes me. This leads to something that I've been teaching for my whole ministry, and I want you to grab onto it. Holiness is not just what I don't touch. Holiness is what I refuse to allow to touch me. And so I know a lot of Christians, they love their horror movies, and they love their Saw 1 through 9s, and they love their music, and they love the environments, and they love the spirits and the drinks, and they love the concerts that they go to. But this pastor would not be a good shepherd if I didn't tell you that you better be careful the environments that you allow to shape you, because if you're not careful, the environments that you allow to shape you will eventually shape you. And holiness is not necessarily, holiness is not necessarily what I don't touch. Holiness is what I refuse to allow to touch me. Now, I want to be very clear here. This is not your pastor telling you to sell your concert tickets or to do something that you've already planned on doing. This is not legalism. Holiness is not legalism. The Bible doesn't say that my job as a pastor is to work out your salvation with my fear and trembling. You tracking with me? So if I see you in town and some of you are having a beer at a restaurant, please don't take the beer underneath the table. Like, you can do you, it's okay. My first thought isn't, man, they're living very unclean. And just like if you see me in the McDonald's drive-thru, don't honk and say, Pastor, stop. Come on, somebody. We have to be careful that we don't turn holiness into legalism, but we also have to be doubly careful that we don't use the grace of God in our life as a credit card to allow the unclean things in our life to shape us. And so what we don't want is we don't want to create an environment where the children or the youth of our house grow up thinking that everything in the world is permissible and accessible to them, only for them to attain everything in the world and find out that they've got more answers or more questions than they do answers. And so holiness is what I refuse to allow to touch me. And so getting back to the point is, you are to work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. Now, I want you to listen to it. We've turned it into working out our own salvation with grace and mercy. But the Word of God teaches us that we are to work out our own salvation with fear and trembling. Not the kind of fear where I'm afraid, but the kind of fear where I have reverence because I'm living next to a holy God and with the holy God, and I value His presence more than I do the thing that's going to ruin His presence. Man, I wish we can record this and every believer can listen to this. I feel like the tone is properly and right. I don't feel like I'm coming off and slam dunking some of you. I'm not telling you that you can't get tattoos and you can't have a beer. I'm not telling you that you can't go to that concert. What I am telling you as your pastor is you better consult the heart of God for yourself. You better consult the heart of God for yourself. Now, privately, if you come ask me, Pastor, what do you think about this issue? I have no problem telling you what I think about individual issues. Generally speaking, though, the church has done a really bad job of becoming the moral police and not teaching people about the heart that you need to have before you talk about morality.